Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. Welcome to Final Fantasy D6. So, I haven't actually done this with these people yet, and this is one of the first times I've recorded a campaign like this. If this goes up on the internet at all, it will be on Tom's channel, because my channel is dedicated to other shit. But, yeah. Nah, it's crap, Aaron. I'm going with a different version of the theme. Sorry.
Also, I was just going to say, before you start this, if it does go on my channel, you might want to at least just post a note on your channel saying, hey, it's a thing, because otherwise no one will know.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true, right? So, we have with us today, as the players for this campaign, we have Hades Shadow 92.
Hey, you got the number right.
Well, I have it written on screen, so... Like, I'm looking at the recording screen as it's recording. Awesome, ripply blue background that I don't have to edit in and all. We also have Darkness.
Hello.
Yep. We have Luminous Starlight.
Hi, hi.
Blank Page is not with us right now, sadly. He might hop in later, he might not. His schedule's looking a little iffy. If he hops in later, we'll figure out a way to squeeze him in. And last but not least, kind of a last-minute addition in the grand scheme of things, trying to set this campaign up, we have Tom117Z.
Blah.
Yep. And of course, we also have me, Tone Shift, otherwise known as Skajarmas. I will be your game master for today's campaign.
Well, of course, no one knows who you are.
Oh yeah, of course, absolutely.
Hey, who is this guy?
I don't know, we didn't need the DM, so we kind of just grabbed him off the internet.
Ah,
I think he did readings.
Ah,
a bit shit, to be
fuck
honest,
you,
but, you know.
fuck you. Damn it.
We love you really, Brian.
I should fucking hope so. Some of you guys give me money. I just realized how nepotistic that made me sound. Okay. My apologies. So, for those of you uninitiated, we are playing a tabletop role-playing game in the same vein as Dungeons & Dragons called Final Fantasy D6. It is a fan-made system based around the Final Fantasy franchise, which is so wide and varied that I pretty much just decided to say fuck it and made my own setting. And, yeah, so here we are. We're starting this campaign. So if you'll give me a moment for the music to die down a bit, we can go into the official beginning of the campaign and the epic adventure these dimwits are bound to be going on in the immediate to near future.
Fuck you too.
Excuse you, dimwit?
It's
no.
It's D&D. Dimwit is to be assumed.
Don't
And
worry.
to be
Lumina.
fair, I am new to this.
Neophil
We'll
is
get him
cute and
later.
adorable, not a dimwit.
Oh yeah. I suppose I should mention, two of our players, Darkness and Hades, are absolutely new to this. They have never played tabletop role-playing games before in their lives, or at least that's true with Hades. Darkness is at the very least very inexperienced, so these first few sessions are probably going to be kind of slow and jittery as we're trying to explain how the hell the rules even work to these people.
I am a scrub.
Yes, he
Can
is.
I just point out, the last time
Pretty
I
much.
played
I'm very sorry.
The last time I played role-playing, which I still have yet to talk about on Jibber Jabber, we ended up murdering one of our own players for being a greedy bastard.
I mean, that's fine, I guess. Here. Now then,
For those who wish to laugh at my misfortune, go right ahead. You have my permission.
just laugh at all our misfortune. Me as the game master because I have to deal with players, and my players because I have to deal with me, the game master.
Mostly Tom.
Oh,
We should have got Ben in here, then we could just thrown him into the dungeon first.
hey,
Please, no.
don't tempt me. I might make him an NPC.
Oh god. I already have to look out for Misty, quote-unquote.
Yeah. Anyways, so now let's bring it in and start the campaign. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some ambient sound going here.
Sound effects.
Yeah, because I have a
Ambience.
because I have a wind thing for that. So here we go. All right.
Immersion.
Yes, Usher. So, trying to figure out exactly which thing I should start with, where your characters are or the world itself.
I mean, these things usually start in the land before time or something.
All right, well. I'm watching too much Critical Role. I'm trying to take notes from Matt Mercer as a dungeon master, but I'm not on his level, so we'll just start with where you guys are and the basic lead up to this. So,
Okay.
So, actually, I suppose the best way to start things off would just be to roll 1d4 to see who the hell wakes up first. So Thanatos, you are 1. Or, excuse me, Hades, you're 1. Lumina, you're 2. Darkness, you're 3. Tom, you're 4. So roll 1d4. Tom wakes up first. All right. So,
All right.
consciousness comes to you more or less with a great deal of pain in your body. You are incredibly sore, groggy. The taste of salt fills your mouth quite exponentially. I haven't done this in a while. I'm very out of practice, so bear with me. The starts are always the rockiest for me. Raising your head, you realize there's a lot of sand caked on your face, and it's sticking there in part because of the salt water that is clinging to your entire body, making your clothes cling to your form. You hear the sound of ocean waves behind you, a chill wind, being late in the fall, early winter, rushes over you and makes you want to shiver and curl up to yourself as it hits your moist skin. Opening your eyes, you see that you are on a beach, of all things. Not far ahead, you see the wooden supports that lead up to an elevated platform that then lead to a large city with a predominantly wooden architectural style. Memories start coming back to you in rapid succession. You are on your way to the city of Marasu, a city, the gateway to the island nation of Mikatai, the home of the Mithra, the cat people of the Northern Islands. You were aboard a ship traveling there when, all of a sudden, cannonballs started breaking through the side of your ship. People began running and screaming. You watched an entire family of people be torn apart as one cannonball ripped right through them. Explosions of the Magitech engines underneath the hull signified the demise of the ship. People jumped over the side, screaming in terror. Wooden planks flew all over. One explosion occurred behind you. You were thrown over the edge. You plummeted into the dark water, and consciousness fled you. And now you are waking up on the sandy beach. The sky is dark and full of clouds. It looks like it might start raining in a little while. What do you do?
I look around, see if there's anyone else.
All right. Looking around on the beach, there's quite a lot looking around. There looks to be several bodies, along with a great deal of debris from the ship you were on. Planks of wood, broken crates and barrels, strewn about cargo, bits of metal shrapnel here and there. Among the bodies...
Hello? Anyone alive? Sorry, Scott.
All right, let me just real quickly roll a 1d3 here. Hopefully that's an actual number. It is! So, the next one to wake up, someone answers your call, Tom. You see a little ways up the shore a human looking to... a human. I was given a description of the characters beforehand. A human dressed in dark-colored iron armor with a sopping brown cloak draped over his shoulders and a scythe clinging to his back, slowly starts to stir and wake up. Hades, you are now awake. You can begin play. Also, I suppose I should have asked Tom to describe his character first.
Well, we can kind of introduce ourselves to each other, can't we?
Well, I mean, like, descriptions for the sake of people listening. Not your backstory or anything, just your physical appearance.
Right, well, let me just see the picture quickly just for
the picture that
reference.
the picture that I drew for you, without any input from you, I might add. I need to draw a picture. Yeah, I need to draw pictures for the rest of these guys, too.
I would say you technically had input from me, but you also drew Little Wing, so yeah. Neophil is an Elvan who wields a crossbow that has a blue attire of a half kind of skirt thing that goes down to just below her knees, boots, a wing gold motif on her belt, and medium armor that covers most of her torso and her shoulders.
All right, and it's all got a very
hair,
it's all got a very blue color scheme.
Yeah, hair's brown, her eyes are also blue, more dark though than her general attire.
Yep. And of course, being an Elvon, the long pointy ears.
Of course. We knife is, so we do.
Yep. Oh. Now then, as I was saying, Hades, you are now awake. Your character is pulling himself up. Since Tom is more experienced with role-playing here, I imagine he'll take the lead for this interaction.
Hey you, are you okay?
Wait for my head to stop spinning and I'll answer that.
Do you remember what happened? The ship.
I remember cannon fire. And
Was anyone else with you? I think we were chucked overboard. I don't remember anything else after that. I woke up on this beach just a short while ago.
I travel alone. There was nobody with me. I just was blasted off the ship. What happened?
We were attacked, clearly. The engines gave out. The ship capsized.
Swell.
Who are you?
You call me Thanatos.
Neothil, Ranger.
At about this time, that a little ways further up the shore, another human, this one dressed in lighter colored armor with a intricately carved staff in one of his hands, starts to come to. Darkness, you are now awake. Since I haven't drawn your character a picture yet, we can't really describe your appearance yet. You are extremely muffled.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Sorry, how's that? Is that okay?
That is much better.
Yes.
You are awake now.
Bloody gaming headphones.
He was muttering in his sleep. It's fine.
Behave. Anyway, as I tried to say, it's alright. I mean, I pretty much imagine him wearing white and silver. That's alright.
So yeah, your
Nice
character's
style, Govin.
waking up. Yep.
What happened to the ship? Oh.
Thanatos, there's someone else waking up.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
You over there in the silver. Who are you?
Name's Alasaya. You two. There's two of you. I can't tell.
Yes, I'm Neothil, Ranger. This is Thanatos.
Pleasure to meet you. Could anyone tell me what happened?
The ship
That's
capsized.
okay.
We were attacked. The engines went out. We don't know much after that. We're all knocked overboard.
Oh. That explains the huge hit to the head. Anyone else made it? Or was that it?
Oh, there's still plenty of bodies around here. Some of them might be alive. Take a look around.
Everyone go ahead and
Got
roll
it.
scavenge checks. It'd be a 2d6 plus your scavenge skill.
Okay. Oh,
Ooh.
I got a pretty high number.
Oh, do you have
How
a
do you
scavenge?
roll?
Was that Tom?
So how do you roll? I'm just looking into the chat to see how the dice roll works.
Just roll 2d6 and then add your scavenge skill. If you don't have a scavenge skill, it's just a straight 2d6.
Alright, let me check.
I don't.
So,
I do not. So dash roll 2d6. Dash roll 2d6.
alright.
6. 8. There you go.
Right now. Picking through the bodies that have washed along shore, the vast majority of them are well beyond the reach of any kind of healing magic. Most of them are already dead. In fact, pretty much all of them are already dead, either because of wounds or drowning, by the looks of it. Some of them are even bloated because of water seeping into their deceased skin. Pale, slippery, it's very morbid. You have a chill going down your spine just at the sight of it all. One thing does stand out to you, though. Noticeably to Alcier. Looking a little bit further up the shore, you spot what appears to be a chocobo. Face planted in the dirt, or in the sand. But the odd thing is that some of her body is mechanical, looking to be made up of Magitech parts. Specifically, well, actually, Lumina, why don't you describe your character, please?
Forgive me, my family's being loud.
That's fine. And you've got it set to push to talk, I imagine, so
Yeah.
we can dodge that issue as much as we can.
Yeah, she's a cyborg chocobo.
Yeah. Could you go into a bit more details about that? Specific body parts that are cyborg eyes, general color scheme. Give us something to work with here. Since you already,
She's
have
an all
inventory.
black.
Go ahead.
I mean, she's a black chocobo with rusted red crusting on her chest and her head.
All right.
She has a mechanical leg, and like parts of her do not look completely normal. You can tell that something is different, especially around one of the eyes.
All right.
And she wears armor.
Yeah. Got some barding on her. All right. Well, yeah. This chocobo is face planted into the sand. How do you three wish to proceed?
Is that a chocobo? I've never seen one like that before.
Chocobo? Where? Oh.
Interesting.
Nothing.
It's
Nothing
like someone slapped a bunch
book.
of metal on it.
Appears to have been modified.
I'm gonna go see. I approach the chocobo.
All right. As you approach, the chocobo does not stir. It's remaining still, though she appears to be breathing.
Can I see about giving it some medical attention? I do have 2 healing skill.
Sure, you can roll that.
So what will that be?
It's always 2d6 plus the skill. Every roll you make in this
Alright.
game, unless I tell you otherwise, is a 2d6.
2d6.
And add your skill. You said you have 2 in the medicine skill?
Yeah, plus 2. There we go.
10.
10.
All right. Looking her over, it's kind of hard to get a gauge on whether or not she's in good physical health because of all the mechanical parts sticking out of her. You can only assume that she's not in proper health. I mean, given the fact that she has a mechanical leg. But then, suddenly, from underneath one of her wings, there's a snap, an electrical fizz, a few sparks fly out, and suddenly the chocobo lurches up with a loud, oddly human-like scream of pain. Lumina, you're awake now.
Whoa! I take a step back, not knowing what this is. I will instinctively put a hand on the crossbow.
Yeah.
I jump back, taking my scythe off my back.
So I suppose before you guys start interacting, there is one thing I need to address really quick. Lumina, you know, for one thing, your character is, of course, currently in a great deal of pain, and furthermore, you can immediately tell that the special things that you have hidden under your wings are no longer functional. They appear to have been damaged in the destruction of the ship and your time suspended in the water.
Ow.
It talks. What are you?
Me? Huh?
Yes, you.
I'm a chocobo. What do I look like?
A very robotic chocobo.
Talking chocobo.
Very talking chocobo.
Very fascinating indeed.
Ah,
Now I've seen
it-
everything.
this is what I get for leaving Alvatea.
Maybe I drank too much seawater.
No, we're all seeing this. Again, who are you?
Oh, my name's Rocket.
Rocket,
Love that voice.
you were on the ship, right? You were on the ship, right?
The ship?
The ship,
Wait.
the one that sank, which is why we're here now.
Oh. I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
So you were on the ship.
Yes.
Okay.
Admittedly,
How the
it's a
heck did I
Somewhere.
miss that?
I'm wondering how much else we missed. Clearly, because we sank.
Well, to be fair, I was in the hole working on a few medicines, you could say.
Right. Well, we're here. I assume that's old Matea, so we made it, sort of.
Shame no one else did, though.
Well, let's see if we can find a path out of here and get somewhere safe before we find out a bit more about each other and see who the hell you guys even are.
All right. So, airplane of action.
I'm
then?
looking for a way off the beach.
All right. Well, looking ahead a little bit, it looks like this beach is not typically meant to be traversed by the common peasantry of the city. There is a wall a little ways ahead that kind of serves as the foundation for what looks to be a street and what looks to be a bunch of warehouses and administrative office buildings and maybe a few store-side shops or beachside shops.
How big's the wall?
About 15 feet.
So quite high.
Yeah.
Any other ways?
Well, looking around, you do see that the beach comes to an end at one point, and you see that there is a river sort of flowing out of the city and into the ocean. Following that, you also glance out and you notice that there are a lot of other ships, all of Mikotine design, in the water around the city. It looks like a blockade.
Oh, that doesn't look good.
Indeed.
There's a lot of boats here.
They all have...
They didn't...
One thing I suppose I should mention, they all have odd-looking flags going from their tops. They don't look to be typical banners displaying their allegiance. They're a sickly green color with an odd symbol.
I don't suppose any of you know what they are.
You could all make lore checks to see if you know what those symbols mean.
I have nothing in law, so no.
Me either.
It'd actually probably be a history check, all things
How about-
considered. If that's a skill, I can't quite remember. Give me a second, I'm looking at the
It's
skill list.
not.
It is not.
Then yeah.
It's
Well,
law.
You know, so lore history check is what it would be. If any of you want to roll that, you can.
Does anyone actually
Heaven
have...
law is magic.
Well, I mean, that's fine. You can just roll a straight 2d6 and not have any bonuses to it in this context.
Okay.
Since I was the one to ask the others in the first place, it would be odd if I suddenly know, so no.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna roll.
Fair enough.
I guess I will.
Right.
Seven?
Yeah, that's great. Alicia, are you gonna roll?
I give it a shot.
All right. Oh, critical success.
Okay.
All right. All right.
Well then.
Wow.
So, for Thanatos, it looks kind of familiar, but you can't put your finger on it. For Alcier, though, oh, this is all too familiar, and it fills your heart with dread at what you're seeing. You know that symbol, in part because a lot of your studies involved knowing the various symbols related to situations like this. And that symbol is a symbol of a city under quarantine in Mikotai. Nothing in or out. You can only assume now that your ship was destroyed because it drew too close to the blockade. Although, why they would ignore the symbol, you don't know.
Gonna tell us this?
Yep. I think it's maybe best that we avoid that place then, because
Why-
unfortunately it means it's under quarantine.
Where's the thing?
Quarantine.
Yeah, you're inside the
Quarantine of
quarantine
what?
now.
To sink a ship just getting close. They didn't even give us a warning.
Well, that's what the flags are for.
Oh, clearly, but
So why did our ship ignore these?
That's what I want to know. I mean, who want to come here? It makes no sense.
this is just
Although,
going to be a way station for me to get further inland.
Hmm.
Not anymore,
although
I guess.
the amount of things I've seen, I'd be surprised if anything makes sense anymore.
So, the only way out of here we can see is that river and the wall, right?
Pretty much.
Seems to be.
How intact is the wall? Like any potholes in it?
Yeah, this is an older looking city. There are plenty of like potholes and missing bricks in it.
Alright, if I can get to the top of that wall, I can probably help the rest of you up.
Okay,
Hmm.
but who should go in first?
I think I can climb it. I'm going to attempt to climb up the wall using my athletics skill.
Alrighty, roll it.
Alright, so that's... Let me just check. 2d6
Be careful.
plus 4. So yeah. 2d6 plus 4.
Alright.
12.
Alright. You get a running start, you jump up, you manage to make it a good ways up. You slip one or two times because, it's very mossy and very moist from the blasting of sea air and ocean water. But after a little bit, you manage to haul yourself up fully onto the side of the thing.
I'm safely up. Now that's what you get taught in the Rangers.
Looking around as you reach the top of this wall, by the way, you find that you're now on a street, and looking around, you notice that there is a startling lack of people. There's no one out right now.
I will admit, guys, it doesn't look any better up here. Try and climb up. I'll see if I can help you when you get close to the top.
Alright.
Got it.
Alright, I guess I'll roll with my athletic.
Alright.
Do I have to
Hey,
roll
Choco-
anything to help them?
If they can get high enough, yeah.
10.
Alright, so Thanatos sort of limbers up a bit, does a stretch or two, tries to mimic what you did with a running start, and he does a pretty good job. His armor slows him down a little bit, though. It looks quite heavy. But he eventually manages to reach a point where you are within arm's reach, but he can't seem to get any further. His armor's preventing him from reaching any other grasping points.
What do I need to roll?
This would be a force check.
Force. So my force is 3, so 2d6 plus 3.
Pretty much.
Eleven.
Alright. You reach down, you grab onto Thanatos' hand, and with a mighty heave, you lift him up onto the wall, and he lands with kind of a clunk and a rattle, but he seems fine.
Thanks for that. My master would have my head if he saw me slip up like that.
Don't worry, my sisters had to help me more than once. Alyssa, you're next.
Okay. But before I do, Rocket, you think you'd be able to get up there? In your condition? I mean, I don't mind helping you up.
Rocket roll.
Is that just for...
See what I mean? Now I'm just imagining as he's saying that Rocket just going for it.
Okay. Well, alright, so Rocket rolled 9 for athletics, that was?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, you take a running start, you jump at it. The thing is, you don't have thumbs, and with your rocket propellers out of commission, your talons kind of dig into the wall, you kind of stick there for a second, you strain, there's a buckling sound in your mechanical leg, you let it all out, and you fall back to the sand with a poof. Little dust cloud kicks up from the impact.
Oof.
Okay,
My
now
goodness,
that
are you
was
okay?
not regulation.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I love that voice. It's so cute.
Yeah, I think I might have to help you up somehow. Hmm.
Alice, do you think you can stick Rocket on your back, perhaps?
It's worth
I give it a
noting-
try.
Okay.
My
You
goodness.
sure you wanna do that? I'm kind of heavy.
Yeah,
Hmm.
if you want to do this, go ahead, make a force check.
Unless... Thanatos, can you see if you can find a rope?
Got it.
These guys may not be quite as limber as you or I. While he's checking, I'm going to keep an eye out for any one that might be around.
Thanatos is actually checking for that.
Mm-hmm.
Hades.
Oh, sorry. What?
Pay attention! Tom was talking to you.
I'm sorry. I had
You-
to step away
you-
from it.
You're checking for a rope while I'm standing guard, because they can't get up.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, has
I would
I mean,
give it a
has,
try, but I can't leave her here like this.
has Alcier tried to make his force check to lift her up yet?
No, but given where Rocket is,
Wish me
chances
luck.
are he'll probably fall off the bloody wall and crush her. So... Don't critical fail.
Okay, so, like, what kind of skill would that be?
Scavenge.
Scavenge. Okay, that's just that one. Shit.
Well, it's 2d6 plus 1 if you extra 1.
Sorry, is it 2d6 for me?
Yeah, 2d6 plus your force attribute to lift rocket.
Got it. Does let me find that.
Oh no!
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
So
Does
guys,
it count
cross
as a
four.
critical fail with the plus 1?
yes,
How could he critical fail finding a bloody rope?
by rolling
Because
snake eyes.
I'm bad luck.
Well, so Thanatos kind of wanders off a little ways, spots an alleyway and looks into it, and he gets enthralled by this little barrel that's full of stuff. He has no idea what any of it is, but it looks cool. So he's just kind of staring at that for a minute. Being absolutely useless.
We've been going for 10 minutes.
Uh,
that.
Yeah.
Okay, here I go.
What are you doing?
Trying to pick you up, apparently.
I'm gonna attempt to lift you over the wall. Don't worry.
Neophil just goes, oh dear.
I hope you know how to catch.
Yeah, I'll be ready to catch this.
Just promise me one thing: those claws won't dig into me.
Oh, these?
And I
Yes.
left a foot.
I'll be ready with my roll.
Oh dear.
Yes, forgot to type /roll/R.
No.
Bugger.
Rip.
So we just see 2d6 plus 3 pop up in the chat. We don't actually see the numbers, like what he actually rolled.
$13.
So have the put ending.
/R
Brian did it.
space.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I did it for you, though.
/R space.
You got 13.
I rolled it for you
Oh,
just,
okay.
just for this first time. So, 13. That's not a bad number in this case. So,
Do you want me to roll the catch as well, just for it?
well, hang on. Let me kind of describe what happens here. So, Alcier kind of tries to figure out how the hell he's going to do this. Because chocobos are big, mind you. They're like the size of a fucking horse. So, he's trying to figure out
Well,
how
he's a paladin. He can just throw her.
Determination.
Eventually, he kind of figures out an angle, sort of wraps his arms around her and lifts her up really fucking heavy. But with a bit of a surge of rush and probably dislocating his elbow later, he gives a mighty heave and throws her up at the wall. And her wings start instinctually flapping to try and keep her aloft, which gives you, Tom, a chance to roll an athletics check to try and grab her and pull her up.
Athletics, that's an extra one I was going to do. So, okay.
Catch her.
56
Catch
plus
her.
4.
I can't do it
10.
again.
All right. All right, you reach out, and Rocket sort of reaches up one of her claws, the non-mechanical one, because you don't want to break your hand. You grab on and you give a great pull, and with the help of her wings flapping like mad, you manage to heave her up onto the dockside, and she kind of takes a few steps forward and rattles herself a bit.
I have you. Don't worry, you weird Chocobo robot thing.
Thank you.
Alright, Alyssa, just you?
God, let me get back my breath. Right.
One
My
moment.
turn.
Thanatos, where are you?
I could not find rope.
What? You were gone for ages. What were you
To
doing?
attempt the leap.
We had to carry a Chocobo.
There is literally no one around here. Don't you guys find that a bit odd?
Clearly, but we'll worry about that in a minute. Alyssa.
Here I come.
I am not catching him.
I suppose I am. If he even gets that high, I don't think he is.
All right, that was an athletics check, yes? Darkness?
Darkness.
Sorry. Glitches again.
Yeah.
Right, bugger.
Did you not add athletics? If so, just add four numbers to it.
Yeah, do you have the athletic skill?
No.
Oh.
Oh,
Now
no.
I'm just imagining him just running up to him, face planting straight into the rock.
Fuck.
It's not quite that bad of a roll. So here's what happens. He takes a running start, tries to imitate what you did before and what Thanatos kind of mimicked before. Takes a running leap. He grabs onto the rocks and he tries to scramble up, but he doesn't look to be as physically strong as the rest of you. He looks more to be the studious type. And as such, he kind of gets to a point where he looks a little confused about which handhold to go for next. His arms are starting to tremble with the strain. He reaches for one of his hands slips from the mossy stone, and he falls back to the sand with a poof.
I'll say it again. Oh dear.
Oh, I had a 2. Damn.
You have a 2 in athletics?
Now, I just... Yeah.
It's important to check that shit. So if that's the case, then that roll would have been a 10, not an 8.
Yep.
So that means we got to rewind and do that shit again.
Oh, so you did have an athletic skill.
Pay attention. Anyways,
Ah.
so
Well, to be fair, my page is a bit slow loading up, sorry.
yeah, it's
I
fine.
definitely got to get that printer working so I can just print this.
if you're gonna print out a physical copy of character sheet, I have a better looking version I could send you always for printed copies. That you could use a pencil and shit to write on, but we can get to that after the session.
Definitely.
All right, so so if it's a 10, then you manage to get to that same point I was mentioning where you're kind of you're not sure where to reach next, but you manage to hold on. So you're kind of there, and you're within arm's reach of Knee and Thanatos, or Rocket if she feels so inclined.
Okay, that's good.
Alright. So I think Rocket just critical fails.
Oh, for pulling him up.
I'm gonna also roll to pull up.
Well, before you do that, here's what happens. Rocket kind of, looks at Alcir, kind of struggling there and feeling a bit of sympathy for the guy who helped her up in the first place and gave her a nice tug, and seeing that he's clearly strained from having lifted her, she thinks she'll return the favor and reaches down with one of her legs, the not mechanical one. Sadly, that puts all of her weight on her mechanical leg, which then emits a mechanical spark and briefly fails, causing her to fall right back over the wall.
Oh my god.
Plop.
Oh no!
Oh dear.
Alright. After this session, I have a few ideas for what I want to do for the uploads to this.
I think
Name the
these
illustrations and some sound effects. Just on the odd bits. We'll talk about that afterwards with you, Brian.
All right.
I'll do editing of this. Anyway, before Alistair also falls, I'm gonna try and catch him.
All right. Roll it.
A force or athletics?
Force for lifting him.
9.
All right. You reach down, you grab his hand, and you go to pull him up, but your arms are getting a little sore from hefting all of these people up and, catching a chocobo. So you're not quite able to haul him up. You're able to keep him there and give him a bit more way, but you can't pull him the rest of the way. Your arms are starting to tremble. You can't muster the strength to pull him the rest of the way up.
Thanatos, some actual help would be required this time.
Throwing shade already.
That's a force check, right?
Yes.
Please don't let me fall.
13.
All right, so Thanatos, who is, compared to the rest of you, surprisingly well rested, reaches down, puts one of his, his heavily
Oh, he's been
gauntlet.
staring at a bloody barrel for ages. No wonder.
He puts his hand on yours and adds his strength to yours, and you haul Alcia right on up.
All right, now.
Need to get the Chocobo back up, who has just managed to get back to her feet.
Alcia, can you look for a rope?
Got it.
If Rania is here, she would already be going on a rampage at all of you.
All right, 2d6. That's a scavenge check. What's your scavenge skill? Do you have that skill? Check.
No skill.
All right. Either way, that's a good number for finding some rope. You're on a docks, after all. Finding rope shouldn't be
No.
that hard.
Wait, please, let it be right next to the barrel.
You kind of you look around a bit. You saunter your way into the same alley that Thanatos was in. You go a little bit further, not paying any mind to the barrel full of toys. You get a bit further in, and there, sitting behind a crate, you do indeed find a coil of about, let's say, 50 feet of rope.
I found some rope. Will this do?
That looks good. Bring it over here.
You think it's strong enough for Chocobo?
We'll find out.
We got some rope, so hang in there.
We lower the rope down.
Spending... How long has the session been going so far?
Almost
Spending 40 minutes on just trying to get off the fucking beach.
Well, 30 minutes, because we started at 10 past, didn't we?
Yeah, a little bit. A little after, yeah.
The first time I ever played D&D, we spent an hour in the first bloody tavern because our character got trashed, so...
That's fair.
This is part of the course.
Alright. That's fine. Give some good character interaction potential. Anyway, so, Lumina, they throw a rope down to you that you can use to try to climb back up again.
$16. There you go.
Oh, that's a critical success. All right.
Critical.
All right, so here's what happens. Lumina's rocket grabs onto the rope with her beak, ruffles her feathers a bit. This look of determination comes into her eyes. One of her eyes briefly glows red. She kicks off of the ground as you guys pull at the same time, and she just comes sailing up. She doesn't even have to climb on the fucking rock. She sails right over your heads and lands behind you a few feet. Spits out the rope and gives a mighty queer victory. Yeah.
Well, that was a turnabout.
Why couldn't you just do that last time?
I don't
You are
know.
kidding me.
She was still groggy from waking up on the shore.
Also, there was no rope.
I'm just so glad you made
Didn't
it.
even use the rope.
Thank you. I'm glad you made it too.
Oh boy.
All right. Well,
Let's
now that
find
we're
a nice
all
shelter.
now that we're all here, where's the I look around, see if I can spot a tavern.
Roll an awareness check.
Awareness, 2d6 plus 4. The powers of a ranger. 2d6 plus 4. 11.
No, it's not too hard to find. You spot a little ways ahead what looks like a tavern. The sign out front would seem to indicate as such, with its image of a couple of mugs foaming at the top with beer sort of clinking together and some fanciful text underneath. But the thing is, the text is kind of worn away at this point. Looks to be a much older establishment, and the lights inside are dark and you're not hearing any noises.
Alright, here's the plan. We investigate the tavern, go slowly. If there's anyone in there, we can get information, sit down, maybe have a drink, get to know each other a bit.
I could use a drink.
And if there's no one there, then, well, it's free.
I'm also going to keep out for anything that may be useful for us. Maybe
Alright.
some medicine or equipment.
Something just feels off about this place.
You're telling me we're walking around with a robotic chocobo.
Well, there's that.
All the same, this place is kind of creepy.
Telling me.
All right, so you guys
As
are...
much as I have so many questions, I think they can wait till we find a nice place to settle down. Or at least a decent
on.
one.
All right.
I lead the way heading towards the tavern.
All right. Give me just a moment here. I didn't anticipate that being your first course of action, so now I got to draw the inside of a tavern.
Lol.
Well,
Yeah, it should.
it's fantasy. Where do you get information? Tavern.
I mean, that's fair.
Except for when game developers think they're clever and you try and ask bar owner for rumors and they get mad at you.
Yeah.
Why does everyone always ask me that?
Well, because you're a tavern. That's what you do.
I remember that in Mass Effect. Like you could ask a Turian bartender if he had any rumors. He just gets angry and tells you to get a drink or get out.
Oh, funny. Alright, give me just a second here. Alright, so here we are. Kind of horrible as hell looking, I know. If you'll give me a second, I can draw on the doors. You all see this, right? The map we just transitioned
Yeah,
to?
it looks decent.
Yeah, I mean, I literally just drew this shit, so
It's nice.
sure it is.
It is. I'm serious.
Don't patronize me.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
How quaint.
Alright, hold up a second. I need to find your tokens and plop them in here so we know where everyone is.
Well, if there is anyone in here, I hope they don't mind a chocobo.
Yeah. As you step
One
into
that
the tavern, it is... I accidentally grabbed Cogmog. I did not want Cogmog. Alright, so just as a quick heads up, I'll go ahead and apply nameplates to these so everyone knows who they are and can control themselves accordingly.
Sweet.
Alright.
Gee, I wonder who the Chocobo one is.
Yeah, I wonder too.
Oh, mine's really nice. I like this.
Oh yeah, but these are all going to be changed to like actual like character images later. They seem to have forgotten to grab knee. Give me a second here. Alright. Alright. Just a second to find Knee's token. There it is. God dang it. I accidentally opened the picture when I just wanted to drag it into the thing.
We're professionals, people.
That is the one thing I tend to not be great at, is planning for what my characters do, which is why I kind of just improvise all the time, because that's what I'm good at.
It's role playing. Who needs rails?
Yep. Alright, so everyone go ahead, set your positions in here. Alright. Well, as you enter inside of this...
These tables, are they? The circles, I'm guessing.
Yeah, those are tables. Also, give me a second. I need to turn off the grid really quick. Alright. So, as you step into the tavern, it is completely devoid of people. The bar in the back there's no one behind it, no bartender. It is completely silent in here. The weather outside grows more quiet as you step into the establishment.
Well, this is a little foreboding, isn't it?
If this is a joke, it isn't very funny.
I don't think we're gonna find anyone here. I'm gonna take a look behind the bar, see if I can find anything.
You find a body.